Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Hello, my gorgeous, good looking friends. After taking a day off to decompress and really process this circus that's about to come back to New York City on Tuesday, we realize, not shocked, once again, this is all about exploiting vulnerable people. Before I get started, let's get this out of the way. Help this kid out by hitting that like button so this can reach a bigger audience because enough is enough. It's only a matter of time, folks, that this couple is going to get slapped with a class action lawsuit for putting out continued misinformation as well as causing public harm, especially to mental health safety. And what I mean by that, let's get into what they are discussing and then also expose why these two are complete frauds. Bear with me on reviewing this article. Many of you have seen it 1,000 times over, but I want you to understand how manipulative this is and dangerous. So it says here Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will mark World Mental Health Day in New York City next week. People exclusively reveals, which means that Meghan and Harry had given people this story for them to put out. It says here the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be in New York City, yada yada, for their Archwell Foundation's first in person event, providing a platform for parents navigating mental health challenges in today's digital age. So when you read that, you're led to believe that it's Archwell that is putting on this show, and it's their first ever event, aka Summit. And it says here the Archwell Foundation will host the Archwell Foundation's Parent Summit, Mental Wellness in a Digital Age, to give voice to families who are passionate about building a safer blah, blah, blah. You all know that this is Meghan's word salad, and it's Meghan attempting to take over an event that really had invited Archwell to be a part of it in a small sliver of a way. They're not even the main attraction. And I think what people did here, People magazine that is, was very deceptive. They led the story with Archwell, but then further down, if you were to continue reading this article, which they're banking on, not many will continue to finish the article, it then brings up this project Healthy Minds. This is all part of the PR spin, which we should know by now anything that Meghan and Harry put out about themselves, there's something up with it. That is Fugazi. And this is Fugazi. So yesterday, either Project Healthy Minds is not on the same page with the PR agenda of Meghan and Harkle, or this is some slight shade. They put out a tweet saying, "This just in. Prince Harry and Meghan will be joining Project Healthy Minds' second annual World Mental Health Day Festival." Right? So no longer is it Archwell's mental health summit bullshit. It is now, hey, they are tagging along to our annual event and taking part in it. Okay. They continue on to say the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will sit down with the U.S. Surgeon General and NBC Carson Daly for the Archwell Foundation Parents Summit. Mental Wellness in a Digital Age, a discussion on building community and positive change for a safer online world for young people. Just to show you how pretentious these two idiots are, by including the Surgeon General, they're classifying and grouping themselves into a category of being leaders. Let's define what the word summit actually really means. Summit meeting is defined as a meeting or conference of heads of state. Notice plural, heads of state, especially to conduct diplomatic negotiations and ease international tensions. Also, it could be stated as any meeting or conference of top level officials, executives, etc. Well, I only see one top executive, which is the US Surgeon General. Meghan and Harry are nothing but celebrities who have made zero impact on any community around the world. Why don't we knock Megs down a couple pegs and call this what it is? This is just a session within this event that's being held by Project Healthy Mind. What's so sad and pathetic about Meghan and Harry is they continue to see themselves as these global leaders on the same wavelength of William and Catherine. Meghan and Harry are the two most shady people I've ever come across. And what is bad for the people who associate with them exposes their grift. So let's get into this Project Healthy Minds and exposing what this is really all about. Don't be surprised if all of this leads back to making money. So, Project Healthy Minds is a pseudo new nonprofit that is helping to address this mental health crisis that we have in America. When you dig into this nonprofit and explore their website and what they're really about, really the resources that they're providing is just accumulation of apps and new companies that have popped up focused on mental health. In other words, pushing these new ways of addressing mental health when they're not really getting to the heart of the issue in America, which is insurance and the resources that are not available to so many millions of Americans who don't have the right insurance plans. As well as when you're looking at different types of therapies for mental health, a lot of it is not covered under insurance. So many Americans can't afford it. With these new apps that are popping up, such as Better Up and Better Health and all these other wackadoo suggestions, this is all about profiting off of these vulnerable people, which is what gets me so angry about Meghan and Harry. They're not really here to help you. They're really here to benefit off of the problem that was created by various people high up who are pushing a certain narrative. And when we look at the CEO of this non for profit, this man worked for the vice chairman at BlackRock. So when you look at how all these people are connected and remembering what Larry Fink said about driving certain behaviors, remember, this is the company that owns primarily the entire world. You start to make the connections on behaviors and pushing ideas and agendas. Anyway, so this guy is the CEO of it, but interestingly enough, this wasn't a non for profit to begin with. This actually was a venture company. So, what does that tell you? Money, money, money. Prior to joining BlackRock, this guy worked in the Obama White House as an intern. So when you look at all these people and those that are connected to it, all roads lead back to these globalists in the WEF. I mean, it's just becoming absurd to think that people are not seeing how evil and destructive these people are. And now they're taking advantage of profiting off of mental health. When you look at the advisors and the board of directors, all these folks have something to gain by being a part of this. If you notice, these board of directors all are old looking people. They're not Gen Z millennials. So there is a predatory aspect towards this. When you look at the IRS and you check out their non for profit and their W 2 or tax filings, it doesn't make sense. So you have all these board of directors who have lots of money, who I assume, in order to be part of the board of directors, you have to give a certain amount of money. How is it that this organization was flat for about 4 years and then jumped up with a grant that was written for $1.5 million dollars from an organization called Guaranteed Rate Foundation, in which you see the grant was written for $1.5 million dollars. And according to this database, the description of the grant was putting money towards assisting individuals to find mental health services via a digital mental health marketplace. So when you look at the website that Project Healthy Minds have set up, they're not telling you the ultimate agenda is really creating this marketplace to sell people services, in which I am pretty sure they're getting a commission on the back end. And this is possibly how they make money. And most likely, that $1.5 million grant came from money that either came from donations from hardworking US citizens or the government, aka the taxpayer. So now you have this money going into an organization who can now turn a profit on it to line their own pockets. You see how this works? See how philanthropy 2.0 works and why Meghan Markle is so interested in getting Archwell Public Charity off the ground to scam more American people. I would like to know, how are they operating with all these employees? They received their nonprofit tax status since 2018. This tax-exempt charity is obligated to be transparent with the public and post their financials, of which nowhere on this website can they be found. There's something very fishy about this organization. As you can see, there's two entries, one for California and one for New York. The one in New York, Project Healthy Minds Corporation, was also known as Agora Ventures. Now, looking up to see the history of Agora Ventures, there's not much there aside from filing a trademark. So, according to this, Agora Ventures started out being about charitable services, namely providing financial support to disadvantaged individuals in the United States and other countries for the purpose of facilitating health, wellness, and economic development. So essentially, it sounded like they were going to be helping financially to people to get support services. And it doesn't seem like that's what it's about anymore. I mean, how could it be? Why are you going to give money away when you can pocket it yourself and grift off of others, which is kind of the essence that I'm getting here. Now, the way that I see it is that this organization CEO, who was formerly from BlackRock and also part of the marketing strategy and driving messages, is doing essentially the same thing by using the power of celebrity, hence Carson Daly, who is involved here, bringing in Meghan and Harry and targeting a certain demographic in order to try and sell this narrative of this being cutting edge and a platform for where people can go towards looking for mental health resources. But they're not really tackling much, putting in a few buzzwords here and there about this crisis that we're facing in the United States, but blatantly forgetting, or I want to say excluding, the problem that we have here with health insurance. A lot of people cannot afford these services, and they're missing the mark on this, and they're taking complete advantage of people, all for profit. It was stupid to allow this couple, Meghan and Harry, to associate with this initiative because it just exposes everything. And people are more intently focused on them because we all know that nothing Meghan and Harry do is with good intention. This loser doesn't care about your mental health, your child's mental health. All she cares about is how can she advance herself. And this is no different by coming to New York and preaching about keeping our community safe when she herself is a cancer on society. What I don't understand is that how is America not understanding if you associate with Meghan and Harry, you're open to be scrutinized because of how shady and corrupt Meghan and Harry really are. We have seen the lies. We have seen how they've affected both their families, and they are being propped up as being mental health advocates. Specifically, Meghan Markle, who allegedly bullied her staff, who now have mental health issues as a result of how toxic these two people are. They're the last people to be speaking on mental health. And now we have this Project Healthy Minds that they're trying to piggyback off of. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why they're supporting this organization. And in my opinion, I think it's because they see dollar signs in what this Project Healthy Minds is really all about. And it's this marketplace. But anyhow, what do you guys think? Do you think that I am going overboard and thinking too much into the information about this organization? I don't trust anything that Meghan and Harry touch or even attach themselves to because all these people seem to be interlocking with one another and they're all just as bad as these two. And it's sad to say because you really would hope that there are people out there who genuinely want to help. But when you look at the people who are attached and doing the numbers and the math, they don't add up. And there really are no statistics around how many people they have helped or impact or those that have reformed to a place where they're all of a sudden now healthy. I think this is an epidemic that we have created by the very same people who are now trying to save us, which is disgusting, in my opinion. But leave your thoughts and opinions below. I mean, we all know that anything Meghan and Harry attach themselves to, definitely not what it seems. Just my opinion. But leave your thoughts below. And as always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
It was such a fraud.